Have you ever felt like you just had to grow up way too fast? Like you were carrying burdens that weren't yours to carry, figuring out adult emotions while other kids were just, being kids. It's a really lonely feeling, isn't it? A sense that you missed out on something really important. And I want you to know that feeling of loss is completely valid. There's actually a name for it: parentification. It's when there's this kind of role reversal, where a child has to step up and be the caregiver, the mediator, or the emotional rock for their family. So yeah, that grief you might feel, it's real. It's for a childhood that was cut short.
But hang on a second, because this is where the story can take a turn. What if all that immense pressure didn't just leave scars? What if it also created a set of incredibly rare and powerful strengths? Today, we're going to flip the script on that whole narrative.
We're about to go on a journey to uncover 6 amazing strengths that are often the hidden silver linings for those who grew up too fast. We're going to explore each one, see what the research says, and maybe help you see how your past gave you an unexpected edge.
First up, extraordinary resilience. Think about it. When you're constantly dealing with challenges that are way beyond your years, you build this unique kind of mental and emotional toughness. You were trained not to fall apart, probably because you felt like you just couldn't afford to.
So what does this actually look like in your adult life? Well, you're probably the person who stays calm in a crisis. You have an insane work ethic, and you can handle setbacks that would totally floor other people. And get this, it's not just a feeling. A study in Psychology Today found that college students who'd been parentified actually scored high on resilience. It's like your nervous system was literally trained for this.
Okay, so let's move to strength number 2, which is so beautifully connected to the first: profound empathy. When you're a kid and you have to be super tuned into a parent's feelings, you learn to read people with a depth that most don't develop until way later, if ever. You learn to hear what wasn't being said out loud.
And this translates into an incredible gift for real, deep connection. You're not just hearing words, you're feeling the emotion behind them. That's high emotional intelligence right there. And it's fascinating. A PMC literature review actually pointed out that these experiences can even make sibling bonds stronger, creating this little ecosystem where empathy and understanding just grow.
All right, strength number 3 is one you probably know really well: fierce independence. When you learned you couldn't always count on others, you figured out from a young age that if you wanted something done, if you wanted to feel safe or stable, you had to rely on yourself.
This quote from Simply Psychology just captures that mindset perfectly, doesn't it? And sure, it can feel like a heavy burden, this hyper-independence, but here's the beautiful reframe. It means you are exceptionally capable. You know how to build a life on your own terms, solve your own problems, and trust your own gut. You became your own safety net.
Now, this next one might seem a little surprising, but it's natural leadership. And I'm not talking about being bossy or controlling. This is a leadership that comes from a place of care. It's about being the quiet stabilizer, the peacemaker, the one who brings calm to the storm. And that is a rare and powerful kind of leadership.
And this just explains so much, right? It's why people are drawn to you for guidance. You don't panic. You make other people feel safe. And when you say you'll do something, you do it, because responsibility is just baked into who you are. People trust that because they can feel it.
Okay, let's see how this all connects, which brings us to strength number 5: incredible adaptability. If you grew up in a home that felt unpredictable or even stressful, you learn that change is kind of the only constant. Chaos might have been your normal, and while that was so hard, it gave you a unique superpower in this crazy, ever-changing world. And here's the crucial part. While other people might totally freeze up when things get uncertain, you just instinctively know how to pivot. You learned early on how to adjust, how to find a new path when the first one crumbled. That ability to not just survive, but to actually thrive when things get messy is an invaluable skill in every part of your life.
And finally, our 6th strength, and maybe the most profound of all, a rare self-awareness. To navigate all the complex roles and emotional minefields of your childhood, you had to become a student of human dynamics, and that started with understanding yourself. All that deep introspection built you a powerful inner compass. You understand your own emotional patterns, your triggers, your strengths. It's what researchers sometimes call grit, or a sense of agency, that deep-down belief that you can actually shape your own life. This self-awareness is the foundation for living a truly conscious, intentional life. So, you've got these 6 incredible strengths, but what do you do with that knowledge? Well, the goal isn't to pretend the past didn't hurt, it's to integrate it.
to see how it created the amazing person you are today, and to use that wisdom to heal.
A huge concept in this healing journey is the inner child. This is just that part of you that still holds the memories, the feelings, and all the unmet needs of your younger self. Learning to listen to and care for that part of you now, to basically reparent yourself with the love you might have missed, is so healing.
So here are 3 simple but really powerful steps you can start with, adapted from guidance in Simply Psychology. First, just acknowledge what you went through. Let yourself say, that was too much and that wasn't fair. Second, practice some radical self-compassion. You were a kid doing your absolute best in an impossible situation. It was never your fault. And third, consciously make space to reclaim joy and play. Your needs, your fun, your rest, they matter. They matter now.
The biggest takeaway here is a really powerful one. Your past wasn't a life sentence. It was a forge. It was unfair and it was hard, but it created something incredibly strong, resilient, and deeply empathetic. It created you.
So maybe the final step is the most important one. Just take a moment, maybe later today, to thank that little kid who went through so much, who learned to be strong and kind and independent. They got you here. They gave you these strengths, and they absolutely deserve your gratitude and your love. If this resonated with you at all, please give it a like. And if you know someone who also grew up a little too fast, maybe share this with them. It could be the validation they've been waiting to hear. And of course, subscribe for more insights on turning life's biggest challenges into our greatest strengths. Thank you so much for being here.